You've gained a lot of supporters, even though the result, and you really dug in. The fathers did it twice. Is that something now you want to go get back?
I believe, yeah, I want the revenge, man. I want my revenge. I think inactivity played a big part. It's quite hard because obviously the past 2.5 years, what had gone on, not fighting back here to then coming home to this, it took me back. It did take me back. In a good way and in a bad way. When I'm sitting there going, oh my gosh, this is unbelievable. And then in the same breath, it's just a lot of new first times for me today. First stadium fight, first time fighting back here in three years. First fight at 160. You know, I had Eubank hurt multiple times, 3-4 times in there, noticeably. Just couldn't get a finish. You know, so I'll make sure for next time that finish is there.
Question for Nigel, sorry, down here.
Yeah.
Eddie touched on it, Conor's just spoke about it, what has gone on in the past 2.5 years and what you all have been through. As a father, to see Conor sell out Tottenham Stadium and fight like that, how did you feel tonight?
I felt good, you know, when I take my hat off to Chris. He performed well. You know, that's what it was about. And to me, you know, I don't think Conor performed to his best of his ability. Was winging a lot of the shots. I'm not knocking my son because I love my son. I've always got his back. But, you know, we all have defeats, and he'll come back from this. And I'm glad that he's like, you know, he's lost that lost the fight. Now he can go back to the drawing board and know where he went wrong. Take his time, and he'll come back. Because I know he's got a heart to be a winner, and that's all he wants to do. And you know, to be at the ring for 14 months and in fight. Well, I was actually really impressed with Chris Eubank Jr. He done really well. He stood his ground. He done 12 hard rounds. But you know, Conor come back. He'll be a better fighter. You know, we've got a lot to go back. Well, not a lot to go back, just to be able to take his time. First time at 160, yeah, I think he done really well. So I'm proud of him, mate. Win, lose or draw, I'm proud of my son. Just that we thought we were going to even the score, but, you know, he'll go back and try again, just like I did.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jordan Jarrett Bryan, Channel 4 News. Conor, I was fortunate enough to spend a couple of days with you, your family and your team in preparation for this fight, and saw firsthand the work and the effort and commitment you put into preparing for this fight. Knowing all of that and what you did put into preparing for this, how much does it hurt and how does it feel to have not got the result that I know you've worked so hard to? And if I can, as a follow-up, Nigel, as a dad, what the next couple of days do you say to Conor now to just get him through, keep his head up and keep his spirits high?
I mean,
you go first, bud.
Yeah, I mean, it's hurt me. It hurts, of course. No one likes to lose. Close fight, not close fight. You know, you gotta be harsh on yourself. You know, and I look at myself and go, this ain't good enough for me. You know, winning the heart of the public or entertaining the public is. I want to win, man. I don't work hard to lose. You know, I give everything I have, everything. I made sacrifices that were so hard to make. You know, but I just need to do better.
Conor, for an incredible effort. It was an entertaining night of boxing. The way that you lost the fight isn't the way that I heard anybody predict it. And the fact that you were able to take his punches, as you said, you hurt him a few times. He's on his way to the hospital, apparently with a broken jaw. So all of the things that people were saying you couldn't do, you did. What do you think was the margin that actually was difficult for you, or maybe swayed it the other way?
I don't think people put enough credit on the boxing ability. You know, for me, doing 10 rounds, doing 12 rounds, I'm well conditioned, and I can box. I haven't always got to knock out my opponents. Well, evidently I have, but I mean, I can do 12 rounds, in a weight class. There's 2 weight classes above my weight. The difference in it today, I believe, was just inactivity. There's a lot of emotions going on for me. It's a lot to take in after the past 2.5 years, and I wondered how much it had taken away from me. And I'm glad to see that it's not taking anything away from me at all. Proving I can take punches at 160. I mean, you don't always want to test that. And my goal is to not test that, but also I can dish it out at 160 and comfortably hurt my opponent, Eubank, multiple rounds, and have him on shaky legs. I just couldn't get a finish, which I put down to ring rust. I couldn't pull the trigger and get him out of there.
As a fighter, you're obviously going to want revenge, as you said. You feel you can win the next fight. However, at this weight, with the kind of damage that you'll have to take well above your weight class, would it be wiser, would you consider just fighting at your weight and chasing a championship? As Eddie said, you are a star tonight. I haven't heard anybody criticize you. Some people think it was even a draw. So could this be enough and you just go back to your class and pursue for a championship?
Do you know what's hard? Is it was so close. Well, so people are telling me. I felt like it was close. That's what's hard. Is it was so close and I just didn't get the nod. That's what's painful. Not as painful as Chris missing weight by 0.05, but it was painful. And it was just, if it was as close as people were saying it is, that's what's painful. Because I weren't outclassed. I weren't hurt in there. I just couldn't get the finish. I just couldn't pull the trigger and keep it moving. I'm known for having my opponent hurt and getting finished. So it's one of them things where it's like, do I avenge the loss? Do I drop back down to 147 and win the WBC world title? If Barrios is watching, I'd love that. But I feel like this one's it's frustrating because I feel like I just want to settle this.
And last one from me. Before the fight and after the fight, it seems Senior made a point to come over to you and to Nigel and speak to you. What did he say? That's a question for you and Nigel.
I looked at Chris Sr. and I said to him, grabbed him by the neck and I said, mate, I'm so happy you're here. I'm so happy you turn up. Because outside of everything else, outside of all the noise and the promotion and the fight, your relationship with your dad never goes. That's always there. That's long standing. That's without boxing. What's boxing? What is it? Because I'd pick the relationship with my dad over boxing any day of the week. So to see them if this has brought them together, God, that's worth its weight in gold.
That's right.
That's worth its weight in gold.